Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastion Envi Strong Style Cinema. Also, New York Comic Con. If you were fortunate enough to go, you had lots of money, you didn't have a half broke foot, like some of us. You're probably out there having a good time. It's a big event. Lots of comic book reveals, lots of toy reveals. Man, my wallet is hurting already from some of the reveals from the toy stuff, and the pre-orders I have made. But we're here to talk about Creature Commandos because it got a new trailer. So let's geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now, of course, Creature Commandos is the first installment of James Gunn's DCU. Opens up his chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And basically, it's Amanda Waller can no longer use humans for the Suicide Squad. So she employs these monsters. Same premise, they're just monsters instead of human beings, and she can use them as she will. So that's the gist of it. The team is led by Rick Flag Sr., who's voiced by Frank Grillo, who we also know is going to play a part in Superman, because long ago, James Gunn had said that people who play characters in the animated stuff are likely to cross over to live action and vice versa. Gotta wonder how connected things are going to be, because he's quoted at New York Comic Con as saying that everything will be its own entity. Like, you won't need to have watched everything that, like, Project A, B, and C to understand, like, Project D and F. Remains to be seen how that plays out, because he's kind of making things connected off top. But I can understand where he doesn't want that to be a thing, because, I mean, that's what's bogged down the MCU, is just, you feel like you have to have so much knowledge of previous stuff to watch the new thing. You can't just enjoy it for what it is on its own, to its detriment. But I mean, there's other problems with the MCU. But Creature Commandos, it looks good. Animation looks good. It's in that sort of, I don't want to say like Archer-ish sort of style, with like the it's just the lines and some of the thickness of them and stuff. Hopefully, action is like top notch. It's animated. You should be able to cut loose. I mean, I think I'm changing like my expectations when it comes to animation and action animation, because I've been watching the Combat Gods stuff on YouTube recently, and that's like essentially stick figures, but just the action, the choreography, the oomph, like the visceral feel of the action in those shorts with stick figures. Like, I need that in big budget animation stuff that would tend to have a lot of action, like your Creature Commandos. But it remains to be seen how things all play out. In the new trailer, we saw, of course, the team, who's, Frankenstein, the Bride, Dr. Phosphorus, Weasel, G.I. Robot, the latter two who will be played by Sean Gunn, because, James Gunn likes to use his brother on everything. There's 7 episodes. I believe they're going to be like released weekly, starting December 5th, so it's right around the corner. And I don't know, on the one hand, it's like one of those things that's like, are people really going to be interested in it? But then I think it's the Home of DCU Twitter account posted like the line to get into the panel for Creature Commandos, and it was a shit ton of people. So, but is that like a lot of people hyped about that project in particular, or are just a lot of people hyped to see, panels and stuff at Comic-Con? I don't know. You can kind of, especially if James Gunn was speaking at it, it is what it is. I'm curious to kind of see how things are going to take off for James Gunn and his vision of the DC universe. He's also said that some of the stuff that they say that they announce, projects that they announce, may not happen. That things, unless it has a good script, they're not going to go forward with it. Which annoys the shit out of me, because I'm like, if you're not going to do it, then why announce it? That's what, I remember, the Snyderverse bullshit had that whole slate of, films and stuff that he was planning. And people were getting hyped over, this project, but, none of it happened. It's like you're building this expectation or hope to let people down. And I guess like on the one hand, you have to tease and tantalize and get people interested. You got to like show the investors that you got something coming down the pike. You got to show the investors that these people are interested in what you have coming down the pike. So I understand there's a strategy to talking about stuff that you're going to make. Whether or not you get to it is like a whole other matter. But remains to be seen how it all plays out. But like I said, we got a new trailer. We already know the gist of it and what's coming. We've seen some of the actions, like the scenes from it before. We saw a little bit more with this. Nothing groundbreaking. It just remains to be seen how it all plays out when it drops finally. And we'll all find out together how good that is. But those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, of course, and always, we'll have talk about a couple other things that came out of Comic-Con and just any other kind of large news that comes out of it. We'll talk about it. But until next time, let us geek.